Good morning. It's the weekend. If you guys were going to be traveling out of town to visit coin shows or coin dealers, I have a cool little tip for you. And everybody loves junk silver. Okay, it's just something about it. It's tangible. It's old. It's silver. It's the intrinsic value of the metal. And the cool thing is, you could get some really nice coins for very little money. Usually dealers, they'll just put all the circulated common stuff in these bowls, these bins, or wherever in their glass case. For those of us that are fortunate enough to have a dealer nearby, or someone hosts a coin show, for example, will know what I mean. So we're going to take a look at a few silver pieces that I picked up for essentially melt value, junk, because that's what they sell it out. There's not a huge profit margin when it comes to that. And these are coins that you're gonna keep an eye out for. So anything BU, for example, like this 54 is a great example of a coin that you should certainly pull out of that scrap bin and purchase for the melt value. I paid $3 for this. The guy had a surplus of assorted silver quarters and halves. I saw this one from a mile away, and I jumped on it. There's an S mint mark right there, 54S San Francisco. So any BU coinage, definitely hold on to. Here's another one here with a little bit of obverse toning. This is a common date. It's a 64. Also got this one for $3, but you could see the toning, which 25 years ago, nobody liked toning. So these things would get dipped like crazy, and they would just be white. White and newish. But these are the type of examples that I look for when I scour through a dealer's melting pot, I guess. Stuff that they wouldn't customarily, keep for numismatic value purposes. But I'll pull this out, even if it is just worth the $3-4 in this condition. Of course, you got the little nick right there. You have some bag marks on the highest points from where it's rubbed up against other coins. So that's another great example. Here are a few dimes I picked up for $1 a piece. How about this 1945 Mercury? That's in fantastic shape with lots of luster left. This would make a great inclusion into a typeset. And they say you can't find anything good for cheap. For $1, you could pick up something like this. Look at the reverse. All toned out. Back then it was just tarnish. Today it's beauty. But this would be another example of a coin that you would pull out. Plus, it's a Mercury dime. It's one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage. So it's definitely something worth consider pulling out of there. If it's just $1, it's worth every penny. Here's another fine example. This one is a 44. There we go. Got some luster left. It might be an AU-ish coin, but for a classic design such as the Mercury, it's worth pulling out of that silver pile and saving it from uncertain doom. The bonus is as a mint mark, it's an S. The 45 I showed you is a Philadelphia. Couple more coins here. So another coin I would certainly pull out is anything early dated. 1916. With the Mercury dime, you never know. These things wear so bad that it's easy for a dealer to mistake a small letter D, which would classify this as the key date. And people pull them out of scrap silver piles all the time. 16 Ds, in this condition. This is not a D, by the way, but I wanted to show you my example of an early dated Mercury dime. A 16D in this condition is right around $150 to $200. And here's a semi-key date that I also pulled out. It's a 31S, one of the lower mintage Mercury dimes within the series. The 31D is actually a little bit more rare, and I've actually pulled a number of those out of these scrappy piles of silver. There you go. Typically that's a coin that's like $4 or $5 right there. Not saying I'm gonna flip it for that, you know, because you got weigh the costs and the fees and whatnot with it, you know, listing it. But those are a few great examples. Some other examples of coins I would certainly be on the lookout for, especially if you're like me. I carry my jeweler's loupe with me. I like to cherry pick varieties. So I find something with a nice repunched mint mark, a minor error like a lamination or a clipped planchet would be something to pull out. Also, any double dies, you know, the standard stuff. And keep an eye out for those key dates, like I said. You'd be surprised how many early dated Washington quarters exist in these piles. I've actually came across a 32S at one point that was so badly worn, I still ended up selling it for 40 bucks. Not bad. It's a key date. But stuff like that, you never know where it's going to pop up, and it's just going to be gravy. Get your skin in the game. Know exactly what you're buying. Know exactly what you're gunning for. It's important, because if you guys want to turn this hobby into somewhat of a kind of a supplemental income success story, you could easily do that with some of the tips I'm telling you. So, like this video if it's something you enjoy. Thank you everyone for joining this morning. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and you know what? I'll catch you on the next one. Like usual, keep hunting.